Hi everybody, it's me, Kay. I look quite different with a different hairstyle, and so today we're gonna have a new community. As requested by many of you actually from time to time, and I have been working on it actually, and it's been brewing, and now the bread is ready. Ding! Fresh out of the oven. So yes, this is gonna be a Discord community so that we can all interact with each other in a much more closer way, right? And so you guys all know about me that when I decide to do something, it's not gonna be that superficial. Just joking. It's just that I do tend to think quite deeply when it comes to kind of like launching anything, because I have to go through the system myself and to kind of make sure that it is at least smooth enough to launch, and then over time it would be upgraded accordingly. Okay, so let's get into what this is, what this entire community is being designed as a structure, like a brief structure, so then we all know what's gonna go, like how is it gonna go. Okay, so first of all, here is the name of the community. It's called Potweaver. Okay, and the reason that it's called Potweaver is because, of course, it's the name in itself is inspired by Athena, pottery and weaving. Okay, that's where I got the inspiration from. However, there's a deeper meaning from this particular name, Potweaver. So pottery and weaving, right? Pottery, if anyone has ever played with pottery, it requires a lot of balance. So if you push a little bit, you have to be very conscious with how much force you're using and how much strength you're withstanding, like you're standing here. So then it forms something. So what does it mean? It means it requires a lot of balance and concentration. Balance mainly, okay? So that is for pottery. Balance, like yin yang. And for weaving, what does it mean? It basically means expansion. Because what does weaving actually mean? Why is it expansion? Because it means interaction, right? When in geometry there are any kind of intersections, it basically means expanding, right? When any kind of intersection is formed, there can come an extension, right? Like any kind of molecular bonds, even in chemistry. Okay, so all in all, Potweaver means expand in balance. Okay, so that is the meaning behind Potweaver. Now, that's why we have. I'm going to use we, okay, because this is a co-creative community. I chose the icon of the flower of life. Okay, the flower of life symbolizes expansion, right? It is the multiple, with multiple, not even multiple, it's like a lot of seed of life put together that becomes a flower of life, right? It's like expansion. So each of us, here's how I consider it, is that we are all seeds, right? We're all seeds. We're all seeds of life. So coming together, this is a community, weaving together, right? In balance, expanding together. This is the flower of life. So this is the meaning behind this icon, Okay, I actually just got it from Pinterest. So maybe we will get another profile picture later. However, let's stick with this one first. Okay, let's stick with this one first. And then, so this is, I spent 5 minutes to talk about the icon only. Anyways, so, and then I'm gonna talk about the 3 phases of development for this community, which is how I envision it. Because for me, this is a co-creation, so I would love to tell you guys about it. And when you join the community, this is your home. This is our home. This is our community together. And so I would love to share with you how I envision this community, how we're gonna grow together. Yeah. Okay. So the 3 phases of development. Phase 1. Phase 1 would be the formation of a co-learning structure. That would be a very strong foundation for us to build upon, okay, for any kind of projects in the future. Yes, this is how I envision it. It's gonna be, there are projects, okay. Now that's the phase, that's for phase 1. And when it comes to co-learning structure, there's another thing that I would share very quickly is aligned to this structure, okay. And that thing is called, I'm gonna give it a little hint, that thing is called the Halls of Dandelion. Okay, Dandelion. The Halls of Dandelion. Okay, now let's go to phase 2 first. So phase 2 would be, I have a little cheat sheet here. Phase 2 and phase 3, they are still kind of pending, okay? Still pending because it's just how I envision it. It can be adjusted as how we grow together as a community. I hope it's not too close. I hope it's not. So that would be for phase 2 and 3 would be still pending, okay? And for phase 2, what is phase 2 going to be about? Phase 2 would be formative extension. I know it sounds very scientific, which is because I do think it's in a very scientific way for this kind of, because I'm very interested in system building. It's very interesting for me. So I love exploring efficient system building, and this would be one of them. So if you're interested in joining this community, please fasten your seatbelt. We're gonna have a fun ride. Okay, we're gonna have a fun ride. So phase 2 is formative extension. What does it mean? It means the formation of intersection. So think of this in geometry. When anything that is formed like geometrically, it has this kind of intersection points where you have a dot, right? You have a dot, and this kind of dot actually would be able to form another extension. So that's what I mean by formative extension, is where, what would it be? Like if it's in reality, like application wise, it would be certain community projects or say community clubs, like on the in the Discord community, where each of us, can create your own club, can create your own cafe, so to speak, okay, virtual cafe, like is interest based, okay, so then you can have other co-creators joining your club. So that would be the phase 2. All right, now phase 3 is integrative expansion. Integrative expansion. So what does it mean by integrative expansion? It means it's very interaction based. So I feel like it could even go offline. Like we could even meet in reality, like physical real life. Certain events could be conducted. That would be really fun, and if we see in a geometric way, that would be interactional web formation. So it's like a sphere. Okay, so this entire community is a sphere structure, because we are all co-creators when it comes to joining Potweaver. Okay, we are all little dots, seeds, co-creating Potweaver together. Okay, so yeah, briefly, another 5 minutes that I spent on the 3 phases of development. Okay, I hope you find it interesting, because I do. It's very interesting to envision this, and I'm excited to exploring all this with you. Also co-creating with you. Now I'm gonna go into part 3. Part 3 is the Halls of Dandelion. Okay, no, actually, part 3 is dedicated for exploring. Okay, I'm gonna go here so that, because I'm gonna put the screen over there. Okay, like the screen recording. So now you see that. Let's go into the community center first. Okay, the community center. Now, what I'm going to talk about here is the infrastructure for phase 1. Okay, so to speak. Okay, infrastructure for phase 1, which is the co-learning structure. A foundation, strong foundation, stability. Okay, so you can see here there's a community center where there are 2 things in the community center. The first one is called Salon de thé. Okay, so this is in French. It is French version of saying tea shop. Okay, so whoever mentioned that you would like to sip tea or enjoy tea time, discussing with me, Stone, if you know who you are, if you're watching this, yeah, this is the time as you have asked for. Here is the chance. Okay, so Salon de thé is the tea shop where we mingle. Okay, like we chit chat, all sorts of people, all sorts of co-creators, and so it's kind of like in a marketplace. You just join in any kind of conversations that you vibe with, and then you just enjoy the entire thing. Like spending time with each other, just have fun. It's kind of like that. So that's the Salon de thé. I actually wrote for every channel. I wrote something about it. So please feel free to check it out. And then we would have a Collab cafe. The Collab cafe, also in the community center, is dedicated for any kind of potential collaborative projects between us. Okay, so say if you're someone who loves drawing comics, and you're trying to find a person who loves writing scripts, then maybe you can post your idea there, and then you might find your potential partner or collaborator. Okay, so that's what a Collab cafe is for. So it's for ideas and like co-creation. Okay, like you guys can connect and co-create. Right, okay, because I know a lot of you guys are have a lot of different hobbies, interests, and skill sets, and that would be very interesting and a great way to connect with each other, and have different projects coming to life. So, okay, I hope you guys like this idea, because I really like it too. And then there's another one. Oh, now let's go into the Halls of Dandelion. So for the Halls of Dandelion is the core co-learning center. Basically, it's the co-learning center, okay? It is a sphere structure model. It is actually a model that I have been brewing. I mean, it's been brewed, but I need to make a separate video on this to talk about this model, okay? Now, what this model is for is actually for individual growth as well as collective growth, okay? It's very useful when it comes to self-assessment, when it comes to growth. And I take inspirations from the MBTI system, as well as personal experience, basically, and observations. So I realized that for each person, we actually have 4 aspects that we are here to learn and to master, so to become a more well-rounded person. And so these 4 aspects are intellects, nurturers, builders, and explorers. Okay, so as you can see here. All right, under the Halls of Dandelion. And the reason why is dandelion is because this is a sphere structure. What it means is that each of us is a sphere, and we have different percentage of being a nurturer or an explorer or a builder or intellect. Okay, so it means that, say, I'm a person that is like 30% nurturer, for 30% builder, 30% explorer, and 1% intellect, say, for example, then not 1%, 10%, 10%, yeah, 10% intellect. So this is kind of like a different combination for different person, and this makes up how I operate as an individual. But it doesn't mean that I'm fixed like that. This is how I perceive it. It means that once I self-assess this quality within myself, because for each part, say if it's explorer, we can actually expand into it and understand how I can learn about being an explorer like that. Okay, but I will do it in a separate video. So for now, let's just start mingling first. Let's get everybody moving. Okay, so I'm just gonna briefly explain. These are actually for developing oneself into a more well-rounded individual. Okay, and the reason that I kind of put them into 4 categories, right? Like intellects, nurturers, builders, and explorers, is not that we are doing like segregating people. No, it is simply symbolize the whole of intellects, the whole of nurturers, the whole of something. Okay, it's not like in Harry Potter, like Hogwarts. No, it's not like we're different. No, it simply means that when we want to say talk something about robotics, we might go into the intellect channel to talk about that, to share the idea. And say if you want to talk about cooking, okay, now who was that? M from New York City, I think. You wanted to share vegan recipes, isn't it? So if you want to share that, you might go into the nurturers channel, okay, and share the cooking recipes. And if you want to share gardening tips with us, or kind of flowers or birds, that would be Anthony. You could also go into the nurturers channel to share your ideas and thoughts, okay, and techniques or tips when it comes to gardening, say. And if it's for builders, because I know some people here are, I think you guys are programmers, okay? So you would possibly resonate more with intellect or builders, okay? And in fact, you can find yourself, if you resonate with it, because I have a little paragraph to kind of like if you resonate with this little paragraph, basically this is the thing that you can post in this channel or on this channel, okay? Not this channel, like as in Discord. So for builders, like some people like building models, like Buffer Monkey. Some other people like building world building. I remember it was White Excel or something. White Excel, world building something. And some people love computer programming. There's another individual, Next Ulite, I think. Next, NEX, okay. So you are also very skilled at system building, I think. So you would possibly resonate with being a builder, but it's just for categorizing the topics, but not people, okay? So you can also talk as a nurturer, talk as a builder, talk as an explorer and intellect at the same time. Reason is, this would then help us, this is how I see it, please let me know how you think about it, how you feel about this, is because by interacting with people in this hall, say a nurturer, we would then be able to develop more aspect, more techniques and more understanding as regarding to such an aspect in our lives, personally and individually. So that's why this is the only reason for, cutting them up into 4 aspects, 4 channels. And then we have the common hall. The common hall is kind of like, the School of Athens by Raphael, the painter. And it's like where the mathematicians, philosophers, all the teachers and students coming together and just learn from each other, discuss and learn from each other. So it's kind of like a cross-disciplinary ground for everyone to learn from each other. So that common hall is for all kind of discussion when it comes to co-learning, okay? And it's different from Salon de Thé, because in the community center, Salon de Thé, the tea shop, is for kind of more light-hearted things, whereas for the common hall, it's more for learning, okay? This is how I kind of perceive it, or when I created it or designed it, I thought of it this way, okay? And now, for the Potweaver Regulations. Yes, there is a Potweaver Regulations that you would see here. Now, this regulation has 2 parts for now. The first part is a bulletin board. This bulletin board is to update of us with any kind of activities or regulations, okay? That's the sole purpose at this point. And then the second one is feedback box. This feedback box is basically a feedback loop for every one of us to, post on this particular channel, so we can improve this community based on all of our suggestions. So basically we appreciate all opinions equally, okay, because we are all co-creators. And so that's it for now. For part 3. Yeah, and then part 4 is just gonna be how to join this community. Okay, so now joining this community, Potweaver, is because this community is a conscious co-creative community. And so I set up a Google form for anyone that is interested to joining this community. It's not something hard. However, the reason why I set up a Google form is to maintain the quality, okay, of sincerity for anyone, to enter into this community. Does it make sense? Because it's just taking an extra step to write about something. It means we are actually dedicated, okay, for something. So this is a quality check or quality maintenance, okay, maintenance for this community. And so if you are still listening up to here, I thank you for your patience and your support. And hopefully I would be able to co-creating with you over there. And now the Google form is linked in the description box below. And what you're gonna write about is your intent of joining this community, and also what attracts you to joining this community. The purpose of this Google form, one reason is for quality assurance or quality maintenance for the community. Another reason is actually for self-reflection, setting the intents for each of us when we enter this community, how conscious I am and what kind of actions I'm going to take. Is it going to align with what I set out? Okay, conscious co-creation. And so that is it. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I do, and I hope to see you over there. All right, let me go back to the center. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.